Hello and welcome back. This is Philip with another MechWarrior Online video, part 2 of my beginner's tutorial. Like I said in the last video, when you start out, all you have access to are the trial mechs. There's 2 mechs from Clan and 2 mechs from Inner Sphere in every weight class. Most beginners probably want to start in a heavy because at least that way you can be fairly fast. The Grasshopper here has a speed of 78.7 and as well as have a good amount of armor, 384 for this one. This is a 70-ton Inner Sphere mech. Currently, with the current trial mechs, the next best one would be the Hellbringer, which is a Clan heavy mech. Also has fair armor, moves at 81 kph, so a little bit faster. It loses out the jump jets that the Grasshopper has, but has a better heat efficiency, 1.52 versus the 1.36. Heat efficiency and all of this I'll explain in my final video, which will be recorded and uploaded tomorrow. What I wanted to do for this particular tutorial was go ahead and run a few matches, at least one in a trial mech, since that's what new players are going to be stuck in, and try to cover things that I didn't get in the first video, as well as elaborate on other things that I did cover, especially when it comes to weapons and ranges. It is taking me an awful long time to find a match this time, however. So I'm going to go ahead and pause up the video and catch it on the launch. Okay, and I finally got a match. Looks like HPG manifold domination, so everybody's going to rush the center. I do wish with the domination modes they would move where the domination circle shows up on maps, but always in the same location from what I've seen. An HPG right on the center of the high ground, which people fight over anyway. Hurry and load.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online.
So one of the first things you want to do when you load into a mech for the first time is check your weapons groups, make sure they're set up how you want them. This one seems pretty alright. 3 large pulse lasers on one group, 2 small pulse lasers on another. If it were the other way around, then I would be wasting heat anytime I fired my large pulse lasers. Because the small pulse lasers have a tiny range. 110 meters is their effective full damage range. Can't remember what the damage is for small pulse lasers right offhand. They can reach out to a maximum of 220 meters, though at that range they're not going to be doing much. And the team is doing the usual thing of NASCARing about.
New target acquired.
Yeah, too much stuff between me and him. But always pay attention to your mini-map, where your allies are. And if you have jump jets, watch your fuel because you can take leg damage.
Left arm critical damage. Fuel at
They can take my arms. My arms have nothing in them.
Missile. Left arm destroyed. Warning,
And now that they've
incoming
taken that
missile.
arm, I'm going to turn to where
Target destroyed.
they're hitting mostly the other right,
Incoming
my right
missile.
arm, or sorry,
Fuel at 25%.
Yep,
Fuel
it's
at
the right arm.
0%. Warning, incoming missile. Warning, incoming missile.
and that time he missed because he lost target. When someone's shooting missiles at you, just keep moving in cover.
Left leg critical damage. Warning, incoming missile. Right leg critical damage. Left
Oh, and both legs destroyed, so that's me down for this round. So, no real point in me sticking around. However, you cannot drop in a mech that is still locked in a battle. Once you drop, your mech is in the fight until the fight is over. So I will not be able to use that grasshopper again, which does not bother me that much. And it took me a little bit to get into a match that time. That's because I was running a heavy, and heavies are always pretty high up. If you mouse over quick play, it gives you a readout of what everything is at. Heavies actually at this time are pretty low. Usually heavies are the highest balance there, quickly followed by assault. People don't like playing mediums and lights, which is sad. Mediums and lights can be pretty mean. I switch to owned mechs and go to my Stormcrow, which right now is in my standard AC-20 Boom Crow loadout. This being an Omni mech, I have saved several different loadouts where it switches through different Omnipods and weapons loadouts. That's something else that I'll be covering in the next video. Quick play with current mech. That's what you have to do when you still have a mech locked in a match, because they set it up to where you can rejoin when disconnected. And it looks like I have chosen wrong again, so I will pause up until I get the drop. Okay, so I've got that match, and I set up my Stormcrow into my Peeper Crow build, which is 2 ERPPCs and 4 heavy smalls. Because I switched my build with the save menu, I have to reset my weapons groups. To do that, it's just the arrow keys allow you to move up and down, and then the right control key will set or unset the weapon from that group. Got HPG Incursion. Incursion is probably the better base assault mode. Both teams have a base. Each base has turrets.
Alright guys, let's get that top, hold that top, and we will win.
I'm for it. Let's do it.
Like most battles, though, it's still most likely going to be a fight in the center in HPG. As that guy just called, we are to go and hold the top. That is a typical call on this map, and one that's typically good to follow.
acquired.
If you have the high ground, you do have a very good chance at victory.
New target acquired.
Now, typically, when you're running a mech that's a sniper, you have advanced zoom.
Target spotted.
I don't have advanced zoom on this one because I was kitting him out to be able to use any kind of weapons loadout.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
Delta 5 ramp,
Payload critical.
they're pushing hard.
Heads up, my left torso and center torso are wide open, as well as my rear right torso.
Let's go up top.
He's saying go up top. I was already up there and it wasn't working out so well. There's artillery or airstrike dropped right there. That's what that smoke is.
Negative.
That,
Shelling tower online.
that is outside of my small laser range. But that's an enemy UAV. It gives them sight. We don't want the enemy having sight.
Target destroyed.
The more
New
sight the
target
enemy has, the more
acquired.
dangerous they are.
Right arm critical damage.
Oh yeah.
Target destroyed. Center torso critical damage.
Well, I got one more shot off, so let's go ahead and watch some other people. It'll actually be easier for me to explain things while I'm watching than while I'm playing.
Artillery online.
Let's see here. Okay, Phoenix Hawk isn't completely screwed. 6 medium pulse lasers. He has jump jets. These things run typically around 117 to 130, depending on whether they're speed tweaked or not.
Level critical. New target acquired. Heat level critical.
Trying to find if there is someone who's better at twisting than I am, so I can explain twisting and shielding yourself. This Raven's good at running. Rifleman hiding downstairs. He doesn't know what he's doing
New target acquired.
because he just walked off from somebody he could have fought.
Pretty even, so smart. There's a
New target acquired.
grinner around here that's
Destroyed.
trying to shoot people in the ass.
The Phoenix Hawk here.
5 on 4.
That's a 45-ton mech, so a medium tends to operate a lot like a light. There are several mediums that do that.
Our jammer has lost power.
And what he's doing here is taking these mechs that are ignoring him and just blasting them. But he was committing a cardinal sin for such a squishy mech. He's standing still. I think I will do one more match for this video, and I like
4
to
on
do a
3.
light mech.
New target acquired.
I personally think that light
Going
mechs,
CT on the grinner.
I personally think that light mechs are the best way to do starting out in this game.
Target acquired.
They're cheap. They teach you an awful lot about twisting and running. Because if you stay still, if you're not a good pilot, if you get stuck on
3
something,
on 1. Good job.
you're dead.
Target acquired. Left arm critical damage. Heat level critical.
This Phoenix Hawk's actually pretty good. Captain Deadpool.
Heat level critical. Medium pulse.
ECM
destroyed.
is
Right leg critical.
very
damage.
good. It makes it hard for
Heat sink
you to be
destroyed.
able to be
Left
targeted
arm
by
destroyed.
LRM boats
Left
such as
torso
myself,
critical damage.
as I usually
Target
play.
destroyed.
That's how you do that shit. Good job, guys.
Nice job.
Now they have to go and damage any one part of the enemy base to be able to secure the victory.
Artillery
Who's going to
strike
make it there?
online.
The flea who's trying to cook himself. He seriously put an ERPPC on a
Target
flea?
acquired.
A glorious victory.
That's pretty
for you.
mean. The most important things in this game, though, are to stick near your teammates, and when they call out a target to be focused on, listen to the target. Focus on that target. Everybody tends to use military calls, Alpha, Delta, Foxtrot, Charlie. If you don't understand those, just look for the first letter. This is my favorite light mech. My commando Death Snell, who I've named Squirrel. Because the worst thing you can do is chase the squirrel. And people in this game really like to chase the squirrel. So that was a fast match. It's typically pretty fast when solo dropping if you're playing a light to be able to find matches. As a light mech, you're typically not going to be much of a murderer. You're not really there to kill things. You're there to annoy the piss out of the enemy team and get sight and targeting and information for your team. Mining Collective. Well, at least it's not HPG again. It would have been had HPG been a choice. Let's see, a bunch of people without units over there, and a bunch of random united people here and a couple of non-united. Typically I should be recruiting for the Gilladren's ghosts, but I'm recording at the moment. Okay, who's not connecting? Smoke Hamster. Quit smoking your hamster and connect. Like, seriously. And this is a skirmish. Just like in HPG, everybody tends to fight over the middle. So while everybody's going there, I'm going to be skirting around the sides, looking for easy prey.
Sensors online. Weapons online.
And I'm giving myself a handicap while I do it with a cigarette.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
I am always very
Alright
taunty.
guys, let's get that middle, hold that middle, and we will win.
Incubus. I haven't driven one of those.
Exactly.
One up.
Get the top center, have a better tactical position.
So ignore the other 12,000 square kilometers of the map.
Not real complicated, sweetheart. It's the high ground. It's a pretty basic maneuver on this map.
Artillery strike online.
Bravo wants to die.
So
That's
let's
CT.
sneak up here and get some sight. Okay, there's somebody with ECM and stealth armor. And while he's looking for me,
Just took out this audio. Bravo down. Group up, guys. Look at the mini map. That's it. We're spread all over the place.
Don't mind the commando. I'm doing commando things.
Yeah, not the commando. Everybody else.
And that was outside of my range, 200 and
Got to take the top.
Target
just short of
destroyed.
600 meters.
I'm with you in the Mad Cat. Keep heating them up.
Target acquired.
My other light mech back here is swarmed.
Acquired.
If he's going to ignore me, I'm going to keep shooting him in the back, and he's going to keep ignoring me, and I'm going to win.
Target destroyed.
And that's a kill. That's how light mechs get kills.
New target acquired.
You be sneaky, and they be stupid, and it works out for you.
Enemies are half the
Indigo is not stupid, but Indigo is a clan light. Clan lights are nowhere near as fast, on average, as an inner sphere mech. And here I'm running in a zigzag pattern. It makes it
Looking
harder to
good,
pin me
guys.
down.
Keep it up.
Target spotted. Target
I'm gonna
spotted.
bust back in here and come right back around on that light squad.
Thanks.
Or left.
UAV.
Target spotted.
New
Target
target
spotted.
acquired.
And this is why you keep your arms unlocked. I can whip these lasers around real good.
Almost got them all. Clean up the survivors.
Artillery
I dropped an artillery strike on them.
Don't get sloppy out there.
Hopefully my allies don't push up into that and hurt themselves.
target destroyed.
Sorry for the team kill.
That was alright. I was one touch.
Better too much aggression than not enough.
Target acquired.
Hellspawn Kilo, last one.
I'm happy there was even aggression at all.
Target destroyed.
Forces. We're detecting no more hostiles.
Yeah, good job, guys. Thanks for being aggressive.
Eek. These are not good things. I usually get between 1 and 5 team damage. 25 is a ludicrous number for me, and I got a team kill. So this is going to give me a penalty that keeps me from launching for a short amount of time. Let's just go ahead and click the button and see how long that is. This is a good little thing to work into the video, I guess. Also, be careful of where you put your artilleries, because your teammates will often just run right into them. Yeah, that's a 7-second penalty, so not too terrible. But as you look at your mech here and on the damage and everything, you see that you have several different parts. Keep track of what's damaged on your health and turn it away from enemies that are shooting at you. It doesn't work so good in light mechs. Chances are, especially in inner sphere, you're running XL engines. If they get either side torso, you're done. And one good AC-20 can take this mech out. That's all it takes. Next to nothing. I guess the best way for me to show off twisting would be to take something big and heavy. Which stalker? Not incoming. I want to do a brawler, so I'll go with Reaper, which is a large pulse laser, 2 large lasers, 3 S or M6, and a Beagle active probe. And there's a fast one. But I'm actually going to go ahead and pause up until I get into the match and get an example of twisting in there and see what else I can figure out for tutorializing in this next battle. Okay, so the match has just started. I'm already on the move. Now with this mech, it's mostly symmetrical. I can't actually remember if it's the right or the left that has the bulk of torsos. I think it's the left. It's the problem with having lots of mechs, you don't always run them.
Incoming missile.
Target spotted.
But the way I'm wiggling my nose there, that's because with the Stalker, I can make them hit several locations instead of just the one.
New target acquired. New target.
Now this mech is a brawler, but fortunately, with large lasers, it's very good at poking back as well.
New target acquired. Warning, incoming missile.
They're sitting just outside of my effective range, so I'm doing most of my damage. Turn to the right so that they
Incoming missile.
hit me there with the lasers.
Warning, incoming missile.
Okay, they've dropped artillery on me, so I'm going to start booking down.
Acquired. Warning, incoming missile.
Target spotted.
This guy has laser AMS, that's a help.
New target acquired.
And missed because I couldn't see him well.
New target acquired. Target acquired.
So they've already got one of us, that's not too good. Storm Crows, 97.2 kph without speed tweak. They are fast, so you aim for their legs.
Warning, incoming missile.
Always aim for the legs on the fast mechs because you want to slow them down. Okay, so they have a UAV
New
above us.
target acquired.
Line it up,
Target spotted.
shoot her down. I do have the 2 large lasers on the arms, which allows me to get that.
New target acquired.
He's hiding his legs from me, and he's going for a base rush. Yeah, he's going back for my base.
Target
Warning,
spotted.
incoming missile.
They're probably going to pop my leg, which is going to make this slow mech much slower.
Target destroyed.
Okay, he's
New
down.
target acquired.
Need
New
assistance.
target acquired.
Situational
Well,
awareness
Court,
is very important.
Everyone's in this little canyon.
New target acquired.
Hold them off as much as I can.
New target
Yep.
acquired.
That was as long as I could.
Thank you for your service.
New target
Gotta whip out a
acquired.
joke. once
Yeah,
in a while.
everybody, they're all in C4 in that little canyon.
And now they're close enough for me to use my
Concentrate your
SRMs.
firepower there. And then the
Yeah,
rest will just
they
be
took
easy
one leg,
pickings.
and now they're taking the other leg.
Critical.
So I'm going to override and die before I can do anything about it. But at least I got a little bit of torso twisting in there. Doesn't do much good when they're aiming for your legs, but I got some in there. And I'll go ahead and call that a good video and start getting ready to help you to learn how to choose your first mech to buy. As stated before, I highly suggest running your first 25 matches. It's just short of 8 million C-bills that you earn for that. Anyway, I'll go ahead and leave it here. Have a good one, and see you next time.